Hey everyone, this is Kate Weatherwise, your favorite weather girl, coming to you on Sunday, February 22nd, 2026. It is coming up on 3 p.m. on the Pacific Coast. Now, today's weather video is going to be about the Pacific Northwest, and that includes the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Western Montana. And we're going to talk about what's going on today, currently, right now, and what's in the future for the next 5 or so days until the end of the week. So let's get started. And right now, I'm going to take you to the Spokane, Washington radar. And you see the temperatures around the area are in the upper 40s to around 50, and in some instances, the low 50s all around eastern Washington. In the mountains, you're colder. It's actually snowing in the mountains right now. And then we have some 40s and 63 degrees in Walla Walla right now, which is pretty nice in springtime. I would say you all are walking around outside in shorts and or t-shirts, which I would be doing too. We see some very light echoes on the radar with rain that's around the area. That is very light, like I said, and will not be lasting long. We are expected to get another system coming in this evening that's going to bring some rain into the day, into the morning hours of Monday morning for Eastern Washington. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. And I also wanted to head west to the Seattle area. We have a pretty good, I'm going to take us out to the coastal radar, which is called Langley Hill. We have a pretty good system, and I will show this to you in a moment on satellite imagery. We have a pretty good low pressure system sitting out here over the ocean, and it's pumping in some convection, which this green line right here shows that there's a potential for garden variety thunderstorms, especially out on the coast, and that is definitely the case. We have some lightning strikes you can see here on the radar as this precipitation comes into the very northwestern part and the central part of the coastal areas of Washington state. Now that's going to continue on today. We are going to see some light snow come into the Cascades, especially the central and north Cascades tonight and overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. The North Cascades, your driving may not be the greatest. It may be very difficult. If you are a commuter that comes across the, Stevens Pass, let's say, on to work or something like that, then your travel time you should create more time for you, a lot more time for you to travel tomorrow morning if you were doing that in either direction, west to east, east or west, either direction. Give yourself some more time to travel tomorrow morning because it is going to be snowy in and around these passes. Snoqualmie Pass, you should be above freezing, but there could be some mixing of rain or snow in there as well. But the further north you go and the higher up, because Stevens Pass is 1,000 feet higher than Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass is definitely going to see snow where Snoqualmie Pass is going to see mainly rain. Okay, so this precipitation will, like I said, make its way across the mountains over to eastern Washington and North Idaho by tonight into tomorrow morning, and then eventually into western Montana as well. It will start to dry up a little bit as it heads into western Montana, but you will still see some precipitation as we go along. So let's take a look now at I'm going to go over here to the National Weather Service homepage. It shows all the watches, warnings, and advisories. We have some winter weather advisories for the Cascades. This is including overnight tonight from about 1 a.m. Sunday night into Monday morning until tomorrow afternoon. So about 12 hours or so is when this winter weather advisory is set to be in effect. And then we also have some winter weather advisories for North Idaho too, into western Montana, and some high wind advisories also for the upper Rockies in central Montana. This is around the Kalispell area, and that is pretty much a very windy place in the wintertime. And we have some winter storm watches here for northwestern Wyoming. And then we have this is coastal flood advisory for some wind, because you can see there's some gale warnings and watches over here in the coastal areas close to the coast off of Washington and Oregon and Northern California. So that's what we have going on as far as watches, warnings, and advisories for the Pacific Northwest. It's not very busy right now. It's going to stay on the quieter side all week this week, which is, I don't know if it's good, but it's kind of giving you a breather because we've been pretty active. We want to keep that snowpack going in the mountains. It will ramp back up by the end of the week. However, until about Monday, Tuesday timeframe, we're going to see some rain, intermittent rain all throughout this area, especially Washington and Idaho, North Idaho. You are going to, Western Washington, Eastern Washington, and North Idaho. You're going to see some rain off and on starting tonight into tomorrow, and then again tomorrow night into Tuesday. But then by Wednesday, you're going to dry out, and I will show that here to you in a moment. Now, this is the satellite imagery I wanted to show you, which shows this this low pressure system off the coast here. It is pretty potent. That's why there's these gale force wind warnings along the coast here. So if you're out on a ship or a boat or anything like that, you're being tossed about if you're out in the Pacific Ocean, the northern Pacific Ocean right now. But as this system is bringing in winds from the south and coming into the center of circulation, it is bringing in some instability with some light rain. And like I said, like I showed you, some lightning that is coming into the coast as well. These are the kinds of storms that could possibly create spin up tornadoes. They're very weak in nature, but that has happened in the past. Now these winds are kind of skirting the coast, so it's probably not likely that those kind of spin up tornadoes would happen, except for maybe the very northwest coast. However, if they were pointed more like the winds are in this direction, coming at the coast like that, it would probably be more conducive for those spin up tornadoes. But since this is sort of paralleling the coast, there's still that potential, but it's not likely. I wanted to point that out just in case something like that happens out on the coast. And if you're out there, that's, for you to be aware. So that is the look of this storm. It is a very, very potent storm, but it's heading north. And I pointed this out in an earlier video. I showed you how this system is going to be moving just off the coast. It's not going to be moving in, and it will be moving in finally into Prince Rupert right here. This is the very southernmost part of Alaska and into British Columbia as well. So you all are going to feel the effects of that storm once there's some offshore winds here coming off the coast line of this area up in Canada and the very, very southern point of Alaska right now. But then eventually, as the storm gets closer, the winds are going to be coming out of the south. So you probably will see some beach erosion, some really high tides, and maybe almost like a storm surge, because this looks very much like a hurricane, but this is just a low pressure system that is the center of circulation is like a hurricane, but the winds are broadly. With a hurricane, the winds are around the center. With this kind of mesocyclone out over the ocean, the winds are a lot broader and they reach farther out from the center. So that's why, and it's not tropical in nature. The origination of this storm was not from the tropics. So that's the difference between a mesocyclone and a hurricane, if you were wondering. But that's what we have going on out here. And this is the biggest feature that we have here in the Pacific right now. And along with it, with the precipitation. Now, I'm going to take us over to, this is what we're looking at right now and what we're going to be looking at all week long. We have some rain coming into the coast, as I just mentioned, with some snow in the mountains. We have some snow in the North Cascades. That is the winter weather advisory for tomorrow. And then this is tonight. And then we have some precipitation that's going to be popping up overnight into Eastern Washington. This is when the snow really gets ramped up overnight tonight. This is 1 o'clock in the morning tonight into tomorrow morning for the Cascades. As you can tell, there's going to be some lower elevations, probably Snoqualmie Pass. You may have some mixed precipitation, but you go up higher into Stevens Pass and higher into the North Cascades or higher peaks in the central Cascades and even the South Cascades, that's where you're going to see all that snowfall, which is good. We need the snow and the snowpack to keep piling up. So this is through tomorrow morning. You will see some rain over here in eastern Washington. This is about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then finally around tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow, early tomorrow morning to tomorrow afternoon, 3-4 o'clock in eastern Washington around the Spokane area. That's where you can expect your rain to fall. Tonight's low is going to be in the upper 30s, mid to upper 30s. So we don't have any fear or there's not going to be any snow that's falling with this system because it's just too warm out. It is going to get a little bit chillier, which we may have a chance for some snow to mix in with some precipitation Monday night, early Tuesday morning. But that's going to be very elevation dependent, and it may not be for anybody below, let's say 3,000 feet. So this is Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning. We still have some rain for all across southern Washington, all of Oregon. You're going to see some rain, and then into Idaho and the higher elevations, you're going to see some snow. Also in western Montana and northwestern Wyoming. That's when your winter weather advisory will be in effect as well. So this continues on through Tuesday night. The snow continues for parts of around Lookout Pass into Idaho, Montana border, and then western Montana as well. You're going to see some snow. And again, in northwestern Wyoming, that winter weather advisory may just continuing to be issued for you guys. This is around the Yellowstone area as well. So it's going to be constant snowfall for the Yellowstone area, which is good. We need some snow. Northern California, you all are going to get some snow with maybe even a little bit of snow in the Sierras, which you've been getting a lot of that lately. So this is through Wednesday, 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, by Wednesday, this eastern Washington, you're going to dry out, and you're going to be on the dry side, if not dry, for the rest of the week until about Friday. You may get some more precipitation Friday night into Saturday. I will talk about that as we get closer to the end of the week. But the precipitation is going to stay out of the Spokane area from Wednesday forward. So you see some snow here, some snow down here into central Idaho, and then again some rain into Utah with some snow in the higher elevations. Now, off and on snow in these parts for the rest of the week until Wednesday afternoon, and then we see some snow again pop up by Thursday into early Thursday morning into the Cascades, into North Idaho and western Montana, around the northwestern Montana. And then some more snow is around Thursday afternoon. So all day Thursday for the very northern parts of the Cascades here in Washington State on Thursday, you're going to be quite snowy. And then that snow drifts south Thursday night into Friday morning into the higher peaks of the central Cascades. And then we do see that a little bit of, I don't know if you caught it, a little bit of rain. This is Friday morning into the Spokane area. A little bit of rain, maybe some mixed precipitation. Again, I will talk about this more as we get closer to the end of the week. And then some scattered snow showers here in the Cascades Friday afternoon. And then by Friday night, it starts to dry out again. And I believe our weekend in the Spokane area is going to be a decent one with temperatures around 50 degrees both days. Some clouds or more clouds than sun, but dry. So that is your forecast for the week as we go into it. This is Sunday afternoon, and I will be back daily on my weather group, my 9 Mile weather group, to give a daily update to those folks that I just love so much. And I will be back with further forecasts and updates for the rest of the Pacific Northwest. But for now, this is Kate Weatherwise saying goodbye.